Hi, I'm Dominic Miller. Um, Welcome to my little chat here. Yeah, that tune is Shape of My Heart. It's a tune that I wrote with Sting a few years ago. Actually, I've seen that on YouTube so many times with people trying to explain how it's played, and I've never actually intentionally done an instructional version of it myself. So I thought for the record, I'd show you the correct fingering and the notes, because there's always one little mistake in every version that I've seen. But I'm very chuffed that people want to teach that song to guitarists. But there you go, that's that tune. So yeah, I'm here on tour. I'm currently in Norway, touring with Sting, as I usually do. I've been touring with him for 28 years, and this is another busy one. So we're going around Scandinavia and Europe. And I find myself in hotel rooms a lot of the time, and I've got my guitar here. This is actually a small Taurus model Yairi, uh, which is great for traveling because I can fit it in planes for the most part without too much hassle. But you know, it's getting harder traveling with guitars these days. But I managed to get this one around okay. I've had a few dramas here and there, but it's okay. I've got it with me today. So what I do in my hotel room a lot of the time is I practice and I compose because I've got a lot of time to myself before shows and sound checks. One of the things that I like to practice to start off is a little chromatic scale that I've kind of made up for myself, which is in fifths, which is great to get the left hand moving. That's really good for just getting the blood flowing in the left hand and just getting, I call that kind of like finger yoga, or chromatic yoga is the name of that scale. And I might do that for a few minutes. And then the other thing I like to do is practice Bach. And the reason why I do that is because when I was learning the guitar and with the few different teachers I had, they recommended doing scales and arpeggios. And I kind of rebelled against that. I didn't really like doing it. In fact, I was probably quite lazy or something. So the solution for me was to play Bach, because Bach is full of scales, except that it's scales with personality and beauty, really. So I might do something like this. Etc. So that I will do that probably for an hour, and that really, it's great for concentrating, getting the fingers moving, and really just concentrating on the sound. For me, playing the guitar, the sound is king. If I can't get a good sound, then I can't really go forward. And so when I practice that, for instance, that tune, I might do it really hyper slow, just so I can focus on the sound, and every note being as important as the one before and the one after. So it's just like really being in the moment. And so practicing it is more like this. Etc. It's very difficult to do that, actually. Playing slowly is one of the hardest things to do on any instrument, I think, and to do it precisely and to do it in a pure fashion. So that's really my philosophy with practice and preparation. So if I do that for a few hours a day, doing a show with Sting is actually a lot easier than it could be if I didn't do it. The other thing I like to do is I like to write tunes and compose, because I make albums every so often. I've got a new album out now. It's called Silent Light. It's on ECM, and I'm very happy with it. But I'm getting ready to make another one, so I've got time to compose and to come up with something. And you know, I've got a few riffs here and there that I'm working on. I'm not going to play them for you now, but I'd love the whole process of composing. And for me, composing is fun because it's really like solving a problem. Because really the way it starts is you get a little bit of luck, or just a little riff might just fall on my fingers, or just the combination between two chords usually. Then I think, wow, that's something, and I've got to work on that and solve it. It's like solving a puzzle or a labyrinth, getting out of the labyrinth. And that's, for me, the way it begins. Like, for instance, a tune like Eclipse from First Touch. I was just messing around with like a G5 chord. And then by accident,
99% of all jazz beginners get this wrong about phrasing, and it makes a massive difference if you learn how to hear it. You can play a jazz lick, but it still sounds completely wrong. See if you can hear the difference. And that shouldn't sound like this. You might need to listen a few times, but here's what you should fix. Don't play heavy downbeats, that just doesn't sound right. Once you don't try to hammer everything down on the heavy beats, then you have more dynamic control and you can add accents to the offbeats, which makes the fun notes stand out. But to fix this, you need to record your solos to check how you sound.
Are you out of your mind?
Learn jazz, make music.